Now to get into the speaker, very, very close friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, but more than that, she is an HR specialist and a career advisor. She comes with 20 years of work experience. She's a content creator, an excellent speaker and communicator in English, which is what I love. She also has her own blog that's called Life's Bliss. I'm sure she'll talk about it. And yes, she is also a passionate volunteer of the By Jobs Hunt. She is here to speak to us about a very important topic, and I cannot here to wait this because I'm sure it has a lot of element of surprise for each one of us to learn. So without taking up much of your time, Anita, the stage is all yours. Go for it.
So good evening, everybody. Thank you, Renira. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Now, I have come here many times because Goodbye Job Hunt is a home to me, a family to me. Why do you think I wanted to speak on this particular topic, and why am I qualified for it? First of all, we have touched upon all the topics related to career and jobs on Dubai Job Hunt. So when I was approached to come here as a speaker, I thought, why not speak about something that I personally have gone through, my journey, and I know many others who are on this call today, going to be listening in, maybe later on catching up, who would be able to maybe learn a little bit out of what my experience is and maybe shorten their learning curve to a certain extent. So if you could just give me a second, I would love to share my screen. Please let me know once you can see it.
I could see a screen, but I think you're still opening the screen.
Is that fine? No, I think there's a bit of a lag. Yeah, there's a bit of a lag, which I can see.
Anita, you need to unshare and then reshare the PPT.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Once you open it, then you can probably share this.
I think it's better now.
Yes.
Better?
Yes, your favorite color. I see that. Thank you.
Yes. It's always good to have vibrant colors because it just brings up your energy. So yes, so what am I going to talk about today? It's a very, very important topic for me because today when I talk to you, there is a history behind where I come from. And this is a journey which I would like to share with everyone. And as I said, why do you think I'm qualified for it? I do have 20 years of HR experience. I have seen careers of various professionals. I have been, unfortunately, I have had to let go of few in my career too. I have lost my own job due to restructuring. And during the pandemic, I have spoken to so many of as a volunteer, to many of them, advising them how to go about their journey. So that I feel gives me an opportunity and I feel I'm qualified to have this talk on this session. So now let's address the elephant in the room. Why are we here? What brings you here? What is the career setback that you are currently facing? Maybe you could put it on the comments and maybe Renira could read out in case I'm not able to see. What is the career challenges that you all are facing? Like I have already mentioned some of mine, but if someone could just share what is it? So what are we looking at? What are we addressing today? We'll just take a minute to just get a few answers if possible. I want to make it as interactive because this is not a training program. This is a life journey. And I'm sure you will resonate more if you share your experiences along with me.
Right.
So I had mentioned.
Yeah, go ahead.
So to share if you have any experiences, why are you here today? Is it a redundancy? Have you lost your job? Are you having a bad work environment? Are you not feeling valued in your current job? What is it that brings you today to want to listen to this particular talk?
There are people who are saying redundancy, less pay as compared to pre-COVID. These are a few things. Want to learn how to deal with difficult times. Yeah. Restructuring, mid-career challenge. Some want to understand about being valuable at work. Yeah, Anita, go ahead.
Excellent. So these are something which, and now that we know that all of us have gone through these, and let's ask ourselves, like, do you ask yourselves every morning or whenever this happens, why is it happening to me? What's going on? Why did I lose the job when everyone else had their job? What is it that why is my salary lower than the other person? What is happening? Why is this things happening only for me? Are you always questioning yourself this? And who's responsible? Who's the person who you feel is responsible for what's happening in your life right now? Is it the bad boss? Is it the toxic workplace? Or is it restructuring, as some of you said? Yes, boss baby, yes. It's my cute little reminder that bosses can be cute too. And what is the story that we are telling ourselves? Is that what we are telling, that we are not good enough? I lost my job because I'm not good enough. I cannot take up that senior level position because I'm afraid to fail. What is the story that we are telling ourselves? When we're talking about who's responsible, it's very important to understand that how did we reach there? Why did I get into the position of being not able to get my dream job? So let's question ourselves. Like, if you could just tell me, so whoever is on the call right now, like, how long have you been in this particular company? How long have you been working in this particular role? I'm in Dubai for the last 13 years. How long have you been in Dubai? What are the additional skills that you have picked while you are in this current job? Maybe you could just get me some answers, get me some tips, because I can tell you about myself, but I want to also understand what is it that you are facing right now. Because being in Dubai, I can tell you, when I came to Dubai, all I wanted was to have a nice job, to be working here for a couple of years, make some money, and then go back. Isn't that what we all wanted for ourselves? And then we took up the job. But then what happened? We stopped growing. We became complacent. We just stopped taking on new challenges because we're so happy. It's a very comfortable life. We have a car, we have a house, we have a job. So that's where, friends, it's very important to know what is the story that we are telling ourselves. Are you sad that, oh, I did not get that job? I was not good enough. It was me who made all those mistakes. Those positions that I did not get was because I am not good enough for it. Or are you remembering the journey that you had? Before I came to Dubai, I did have a successful career. When I lost my job, all I could remember was, oh, I have lost my job. I'm made redundant. But I forgot that I had 15 years of career, a successful career when I came to Dubai. To reach there, I have done some things. Those promotions, those people who have appreciated me, I completely forgot. All I could see was this particular Anita in front of you who lost her job. But everyone, all of us are in this position. When we lose a job, we just start looking at the situation. Oh, it's a COVID. Oh, it's because I had a bad boss. But we don't think about what have we done to upskill ourselves to get that new job. Have I added something to myself? So this is exactly what my story is. But I would like to just stop sharing here because I want to talk about my journey. So when I came to Dubai and I took up this job and I was doing pretty well, I was very happy with the role that I had. And suddenly when the restructuring happened and I happened to lose my job, I was okay. Everyone looked at me. They saw a smiling face, a happy face, but there was something inside of me. I just lost so much of confidence. I used to go for interviews and I used to go and I'd do my interviews. I would have meet people, but somehow I did not have the spark in me because you can't sell a brand product. If you don't believe in the product, can you sell it? No. If I don't believe in myself, how will I sell my skills to anyone? So this was what was happening, friends. I just completely forgot what I bring to the table. All I was remembering was that particular state that I got this redundancy letter and I am now out of job and I'm desperate for a job. And I was going with that desperation to apply for jobs. And of course, I wouldn't be successful. How can anyone want you when you're not confident in yourself? So somehow it would show in your interviews. It would show in the way you discuss. it would definitely show in your skill sets because you do not believe in yourself. So I just went back after a couple of months of searching for a job. I just stepped back and I decided that what was the reason I lost the job? I started looking internally. Then I realized that there are certain skills which I do lack. I did not upgrade myself in certain areas. So I started looking at how I can grow in those areas. So then the project did not become of finding a job for myself. It was finding myself to find the career that I wanted, to be able to look at what I want and what I need to reach there. And I started taking on small projects. Now, yes, I was blessed. I had a very supportive spouse. I did not have to put food on the table. I know many of us are not always in that situation. And I thank God for that, that I had that opportunity to have those curve in my life. So I took on projects. I had to evaluate myself that, okay, if I'm not getting that salary which I was drawing previous job, so I will try and work and see that I'll take on smaller jobs so I can get some time for myself to upskill myself. So that's a trade-off I did. I decided, okay, I'll take on smaller projects. And while I was having free time, I volunteered. I was a part of Dubai Job Hunt. Just when Awil had started, I think 2018, I was among one of the first people who I did not do much, I'll be honest, but I was a part of it. Awil was the one person who would always call me up after I lost my job and keep on giving those pep talks. But friends, how much ever others believe in you, you cannot do anything about it till you believe in yourself. And that will not come from anyone outside of you. And this was my biggest learning. So I had everyone who said, "You're so good, you speak so well, you can do any job." But I was experiencing something as people call as imposter syndrome. I don't know if you've heard of that term. You just feel that, oh, did I really reach there with my skills? Did people, people will find out I did not do this properly. I was having that doubt in myself. And slowly I had to work on those areas. And thankfully, I was surrounded by a lot of people. I made it a point to be surrounded by those people who would build me up. At my house, my spouse, my family, always positively trying to help me out to get out of it. But it took me time. It took me time to recognize what can I offer to people? What are my skills? And so, as I said, along with the small projects, I became a part of my school's forum. I started talking to people. I started doing trainings, counseling. I did recruitment. Recruitment is the best way for me to get back into HR, I realized, because I spoke to people. Because of that, I networked. I went on LinkedIn. I advertised jobs. So people knew who Anita is. They reached out to me. And while I was looking out for a proper full-time job for myself, I helped others also find jobs for themselves. And also during the pandemic, when jobs market just dried up, I did not have much recruitment assignments to do. At that point of time, I'm so grateful that I came across the Empowerment Talks, 200 episodes of talented speakers. I mean, I would have to pay big amount of money to get that type of learning. I had a lifelong MBA, 200 speakers with a lot of experience coming and giving me their knowledge, which helped me build up. I became confident. Then Awil started helping us out. We started making videos. We built confidence in ourselves. And then I took out one of the most important decisions of my life. I joined the 5 a.m. club. That, my friend, was a game changer. Because if your mornings are done right, you will have so much of time to do all the other things that you want. Now, when as a job seeker, if we wake up late, the recruiters are already looking out for CVs. What are we doing? We are waking up late, we are finishing all our housework, everything, and then I'll sit on the CV to update my job. No, that's not done. I have to be there, do my morning routine, and then get on the job. It is a full-time job for me to find a job. I should be on my laptop by 9 o'clock, sending off my CVs after looking at all the profiles that are there, jobs that I want to apply. So I had to plan action, and all that I got because of the discipline, the morning discipline that I was able to. And I'm so grateful that that morning gratitude writing, because unless you're grateful for what you have, you never can deserve more. And that is such an important You start appreciating. There were so many people falling sick due to COVID. I had good health. So instead of looking that, oh, there's a lockdown outside, I started thinking, I'm safe at home. I just changed the way I thought. I changed the way I looked at things. And I helped people around me look at it differently. So it's like a boomerang, what you give out, you get back. And this is what I would like to tell people that yes, we might have lost our jobs, we might have had career gaps. What do we do to get back? The small steps, they will pay off in the long run. And today, when I'm talking to you, if you would ask me 4 years back, I had a full time job, but I would never be able to speak the way I was speaking right now to all of you because the confidence came because of those experiences that I had during that break, the projects that I worked with, the people that I met, everyone helped build me up. And this is what I'm talking today about. When I talk about comeback, it is about finding yourself because everything else is possible to find on Google, but finding yourself, you have to go internal. So when I was a part of the 5am club, during the meditations that I used to do, I used to try and spiritually guide myself. What do I want in life? What is the purpose? What is my purpose? And I realized the purpose for me is in instilling hope in people because I lost hope and there was someone out there who guided me. So my purpose entirely is to instill that hope. Now I can also tell you that I did take a lot of time. And as I said, I did have a family to support me. But yes, I understand there are not many of us who can be privileged in that way. So for people who have lost their job, I would also like to give an example of someone who's very close to me, a friend of mine. She lost her job. I wouldn't say she lost her job. She had a very bad review during a couple of months back. And then she knew that, yes, it's going to happen. Her boss was giving her the hints. What did she do? She wasn't like me. I went into a shell. I stopped speaking to people. She just did the opposite. The first thing she did was she started networking so extensively. She spoke to all the relevant people within her industry. Before even losing a job, she just has an inclination that, okay, I'm going to lose my job. She did that, and I was so inspired. I said, that's amazing. I never thought of it. Why didn't no one tell me about it? I was in this shell thinking I shouldn't tell people that I've lost my job. But how will people know I lost my job if I don't speak up? How will people help me? They would think I'm happy, I'm doing what I want. So it was such an eye opener because planning beforehand helps us. So we shouldn't have to wait to lose your job. While you're at your job, go for interviews. I mean, of course, do it as confidentially as you can, but go and just find out what's your market value. Find out what are the skills that the next level requires. There's no harm in having honest discussions with people in the industry and finding out what is the job openings in that area. We shouldn't be putting ourselves in this position to even reflect back and cry later. It's in us, we can do it. All it is a switch, the switch of the button that you say, hey, I can't do it. No, I can do it. And the moment you say I can do it, doors start opening, people start coming to you. Dubai Job Hunt, I'm so glad that I had a will. Of course, he's an HR colleague of mine for much before the Dubai Job Hunt started. But he was one person who was there throughout my journey. And every time I was low, Avil was there. Similarly, a lot of volunteers, I would just speak to them. And I would lift myself up and come back again, back in the game. Today, when I speak with a lot of confidence, because I've been able to achieve what I wanted, but it was a journey that I had to take myself. Nobody can do this for you, my friends. We have to work on ourselves. And as I said earlier, coming to Dubai, we became so complacent. We just took it for granted that, oh, we have a car, we have a house, we have a job. And during the lockdown, what happened? I had two cars just lying down in my garage, in my building parking. I realized the value was not the car, just the house, the family environment. And I'm so happy I'm healthy. So once you start looking at things from a different perspective, when we're driving, we look at the windshield and we're looking at the road ahead. But what about the rearview mirrors? It tells you where we have reached. We have achieved things. Even if you're a starter, even if you're starting your career, to reach your qualifications, to study, to reach your MBA or whatever masters you have done or your graduation, You have put in efforts. It hasn't come easily to anybody. You have to study, you have to put efforts. So remember those when you're down. Remind yourself, hey, I did that. I'm capable of doing this also. So when you keep telling yourself, reinforcing it to yourself, you will have that mindset. Nothing will make me fall down because I can pull myself up. This is just a temporary situation. Everything can be got back in life if I believe it's possible. And this is my entire endeavor today in my presentation, is to bring that belief back in those people, because I know it's possible. I have done it. I know a lot of people who have done it. Markets are opening up, jobs are available, and we just have to prepare ourselves. So a lot of people come to me because I'm in HR. I get a lot of people on LinkedIn who will come and say, Anita, I'm applying job. Can you refer me for a job? Friends, it's not possible for us to refer jobs to people we do not know. It's a very common thing. But yes, you ask me for a guidance in the area I can help you. Definitely. I can review your CV. I can help you, guide you in where you're going wrong with your job search. Yes, that is in my control. I can help you. But giving you a job, maybe I can't. But I can help you build yourself up. You have a problem, you can talk to me. I will help you in that. So similarly, every one of you have that skill, have that talent. If you can build another person up, how much more energy will you get from that person's success? When you see people succeeding in life, you feel so successful yourself. I feel very happy when I have spoken to someone and they are able to get a job, or they are out of their personal crisis or whatever they're going through. It makes me very happy, because that's what our purpose is. Our purpose is not to just get a job, make money, and be happy. No, we have a purpose in life because we are with people. People are a part of our life. And you build others, you help others, someone will help you. It doesn't have to be that person. So, this is my story, how I, as a volunteer, use my time efficiently, try to do whatever I could. And there was someone out there who looked out for me, and I was able to get my job. So I want people to, whoever is on this call, is to look at yourself, look at your skills. What is it that you can help people with? Don't cry over the situation right now, because the situation will change. Change is inevitable, isn't it? It's not going to be the same. I mean, last year in COVID, we were inside the house. Today, we do go out. We do have more freedom. And little by little, the market is opening up, jobs are opening up. You can build your skills. Your attitude is something that you have to work on. Because if you have a right attitude, skills are easy. You can do everything. I was running short of skills in Excel. What did I do? I spoke to a lot of people. There is someone in the group, in the HR group, Ramzan, who runs free Excel trainings. Okay, you just log in, you learn. I go on YouTube, I learn. That's learning is so easy, isn't it? What stops us from learning? So why do we stop ourselves from applying to those jobs? Because we feel we do not belong there? No, we can work towards that. Yes, someone might not give us the opportunity now, but why can't we work ourselves, be ready for that opportunity when it comes to us? So while we're looking out for a job, work on ourselves, work on our skills. Don't be complacent while you're at work. Don't be complacent if you're out of work. Work for yourself. That's very important, because you're not building. When people see you, if your children see you, they will learn from you. They will see, oh, this is how it is. I look at my spouse and I get inspired every day with the actions that he takes, because we have to be able to inspire people, and people should get inspired by us. So now I will just take you through a few things that I did. Maybe I did right or wrong, whatever, but I would like to share that in my slides, so that in case someone wants to take in a little bit a leaf out of my book, maybe it will help them in their journey. So I'll just share back my slide. And do have any questions? If I missed out, Renira, please do let me know.
Surely.
Okay, so please excuse me for the little lag that is there.
We can see your screen, Anita.
Okay, so what can we do about it? Now we know that we can change things. I have proved that I have changed my life. I know a lot of people in the community who have done that. Wenzel has himself given his story, his testimony on the Facebook page, how he has been 360 days or 70 days without a job, and today he's working. And his journey, he was on visit visa. So for those people who are saying, I'm on visit and I can't do it, living example right in this group. We have testimonies on our group of people who have done it, but it doesn't come easy. It will not come overnight. Every day is what you work. You take one step every day. So these are some of the things that I can share about what I did. One was I was a part of the 5am club. The 5am club still goes on. I finished more than 250 episodes. I might not be on the club right now, but I still wake up every morning early and I will still make sure I write my gratitude list. I still do a meditation. I do my prayer. I read my Bible. I have my spiritual connections to whatever you might have, whatever God you pray, whatever universe, you have to have that spiritual belief too. Because without that, nothing is possible, is what I believe. You have to have a mindset change. I had heard Professor Omar speak about bulletproof mindset. It just stuck to me. It's true. Don't let negative thoughts come to you. You can change it just by thinking positive. If I say I can do it, I will find ways to do it and I will do it. But if I say I can't do it, I will find excuses. And those excuses will just bring me down. And no one can go down. And I'm telling this because I have done that. I've stopped speaking to my colleagues. I stopped connecting with people because I felt so ashamed of myself that I lost a job. But today, when I speak to my colleagues, they look at me with the same respect. So they did not have a different opinion about me. I had that opinion about myself. So this is where we perceive things. We perceive things, we have to just get back, get out of the situation, look at it, zoom out of it, and look at yourself from a due angle. Look at it and you'll get new results. The same person 3 years back, the same person today, 10x difference. I look at myself, I see the difference. My family sees the difference in me because I have worked with help of everyone, no doubt. It's not me alone, but I have taken those steps in my journey to ask, seek help. And there's so much of people who are just happy to help you. All you need to do is reach out. And we are in Dubai Job Hunt every Thursday when we come here. That is what we are here for. We might not be promising you jobs, but if you reach out to us or you just go through the YouTube channels. I mean, I was confessing to Avil and to some of my friends that I still go to Melanie's YouTube channel where she talks about what to do in that interview, what are the questions to ask. Hariharan spoke about competencies. I wanted to add that to my CV. I went and added those things to my CV. Similarly, Professor Omar came and spoke about so many things about opening your mindset. So everybody is teaching us. Are we listening? Are we ready to listen? That's very important. Thirdly, build your brand. Now, this is something which takes time, no doubt. But yes, today when I'm speaking, I have started building my brand. It took me some time, no doubt. But today people do recognize who Anita is, what skills does she bring. Yes, if they need a speaker, they need a host, or they need someone for a training, they know they can bank on me. I will be there to help out. So you have that image for yourself. You could maybe lack in communication, but you might be an excellent Excel person. I was struggling for Excel. I would be so happy if someone would come and help me, train me. So what stops you from helping someone with your skills? Maybe you're very good an accountant. Maybe you could help someone who's struggling, maybe a college student, maybe a new job seeker. Give them some tips. Have your own short videos, help people because these will boomerang, these will help you to get confident in yourself. And these are very important for us. We don't realize it, but these small steps, and when they suddenly multiply, you wouldn't know. And that's the whole thing about compounding, right? And of course, have a goal. Financial planning is so important because yes, markets are going to be down. You might even not get the salary that you want. So there is something called as financial planning, which my husband is very particular about. He does help me understand it a bit more. And I've tried to understand from that point of time. So when you know that there's a job cut or there's a market which is down, what do? As they are happy and proud to be a part of you in your success, when the times are down, your family is the first person you need to speak to. They need to know that, hey, we have to cut down, we have to budget. There is no harm in being realistic in life. So if I used to have every Thursday, my kitchen is closed, guys, I'm not going to cook. I had that thing. But the moment I lost my job or I realized I will start cooking, I'll eat at home. It's more healthier for me. I just changed it because we can sit at home, we can zoom in, we can watch Netflix together. We don't need to be in an expensive theater or in an expensive restaurant to have fun with family, right? Or with friends. We can just have it at home. So you budget yourself, because we always are afraid, log kya kahenge? What will people say? Oh, now she's cut down on this. Oh, she was driving a Mini Cooper. Now she's driving an Accord. No difference. Both take me to wherever I want to go, right? So it doesn't matter. And when is the Accord more important or the Mini Cooper? No, it was having the ability to drive which was more important, isn't it? And that's what I want. I want to reach to my workplace, and I have a car for it by God's grace. I have the driving skills for it. That's all I need, guys. So these small mindset shifting, when you talk about minimalism, which is very much rampant these days, there's so much of fact and truth in that, because we do not need much. When I was in the lockdown and I had cars lying down, I just sold off my car because I'm not going anywhere. I don't need it. I have proper, very good transport system in Dubai if I need to reach anywhere. And if I need, I can hire a car and still go wherever I want. So these are practical things which life people, I saw people doing it, I experienced it. I decided, why can't we do it? We had conversations in our house regarding it. And these are the conversations I invite you to all to speak openly about at home. Financial planning is so, so important, because why should you live a lifestyle which you don't on credit cards? Because finally the bills are going to come and hit us, right? So these are practical things. I've lost my job. I shouldn't be spending the way I was. If I'm able to afford it, I should. And nobody has to judge me for it, because I'm responsible for my life, for my future, and my family's future. So these are something which I feel I want to share with people, because a lot of people are afraid that what will people think about them. And I'm here to tell you, nobody cares. Only your family matters. Only your close friends matter. And what you do to others, then it makes a difference to them. But people do not actually care. What are you wearing? Are you repeating your clothes? Are you wearing the same shoes? No, friends, no, those are not that important. What's important is, are you healthy? Are you looking at a long life ahead, which is healthy, happy? And happiness does not come with things. But yes, if I'm earning, I'm able to afford it, I will buy those things, because at that point it makes sense. But no, I will not do it if I am going through a personal challenge right now, because this is not the time for me to invest. Maybe I'll cut down on my travel. I would love to visit places. I won't do it this year. Fine. No harm. Yes, I would prefer to go and visit home instead of going to maybe a London or wherever I used to go earlier. So these small financial planning tips help me realize what all I can do to help me to stabilize myself while I was looking for the job. So these are some of my tried and tested skills. I'm waiting for the screen to come. I think now it's come. Yes. So first thing, what you need to do, I would take this out of my friend's experience. I have not actually done this at the start. So I would start afresh for anyone who's in this position. You can take these tips more because they're more relevant. I have tried it, but I have tried it a bit too late. But yes, make a list of your career options. Now, as an HR professional, I have the option of being a recruiter. I can do payroll. I can do training, because I'm a generalist. But similarly, you could be anyone. You could be a specialist. You could be someone who's in accounts. Maybe you're very good at data management. Maybe you can do a lot of things different industries can use. So where are your transferable skills? Like I took out insurance advisory. A lot of people ask me why that. Because as an HR person, I handled insurance in my company. So I could look at what the client wants, because as a client, I have purchased that for my employees. So I had very good discussions around it, because I could convince people, or I could convince myself why this is good for the client. Similarly, I was doing motor insurance. I still do it because I'm driving. I know what I need for my car. I can advise you the best possible. So those are transferable skills and there's no harms. So what if I did sales for a little while? I learned. What did I learn? I learned business acumen. I learned resilience. I learned how to have confidence in myself, to convince, negotiation. Look at the number of skills I did just by changing my field, just taking a segue for a short period of time. I developed different skills which I was not having. And today, when I am explaining the gap in my CV, I'm very proud to say I did not waste time. I learned while I was doing something else. Maybe I would not have made a lot of money, but my time was invested learning something which was like a life MBA. It's like a life MBA, friends. Learning from situations, learning from people. You don't have to experience everything yourself. You just look around, You will see it. Like I was talking to one of my friends, and they were talking about cricket. So if you look at Kuldeep Yadav, I don't know if anyone watched a test match recently, but Kuldeep Yadav got a chance after so long. That first wicket that he took, it was a dropped catch. The disappointment that he had, and then the second time when someone caught that catch, that face of his, he must have taken hundreds of wickets in his life, but that particular catch, because he was coming after nearly 2 years of drought. That is what it is. Cricket teaches me what I'm feeling right now, to have a proper full-time job after a break. That's what life teaches us. We look at lessons. We don't look at it as a game that he's played and, oh, why should I watch? Someone else is playing. No, look at the lessons out of it. There's someone who was out of job for so long in the cricketing, but IPL, he got the highest contract. How is it possible? It is possible because he believed. During that break, he worked on the skills. He practiced. He had a bowling coach, he had a batting coach, or whatever he had. He came back with a bang. India lost all their wickets for 36 runs. They came back and they won the series. Inspirational stories life is offering us day by day by day. My story is just a small one. I'm sure there are many others who have come through many bigger challenges. So I just want to ignite that hope in people. The next one is demand. What is the demand for your existing skill? Maybe I was doing a customer service job and now it's not relevant anymore. But what can I do? Where I can use that skills? Maybe my industry is not bust, like travel industry right now. People who are working for travel, hotel, jobs have gone down. But where else can you? Because you definitely will have some transferable skills which you can use and apply. It is just opening your mind, sitting with yourself in the morning, have a drawing board, have a paper, and chalk down everything you did in the job and look at roles where you can apply these. Keep educating yourself. This is a key which I'm robbing from Renira from one of her presentations. This just touched me. Key to upskilling. That is, keep educating yourself. You cannot stop learning because life doesn't stop teaching you. So you have to be always learning, because what I listen to one speaker, I can use it in this presentation too. What stops me? I'm learning from them and I'm using it. And using it is the best way of learning, right? Teaching someone is the best way of learning. Secondly, you have to have backup plans. Now, yes, I know we are in Dubai, we need a visa. It might not always be possible for us to manage. So I know of some people who have managed 6 months, and after that, they have decided to go back home. I would say, know your financial status very well. If you're deciding if you have the money and you can rate back, yes. Otherwise, look at mobility in any other country. Okay, I know recently there was an article that Oman national, some people who had lost their job were made redundant. They went back home to India. One of them started a vegetable farm and he's exporting it to different friends and families, and he's making some 50, 70,000. It's just about opening up your minds to different opportunities. One became a baker and he started his own bakery online. Yes, in Dubai, you have restrictions. You can't work freelancing to a certain extent, but you can do it in your home country. So if you want to be working, if you want the money, you can generate to short term. You can look at small ways of hustling till you find your dream job. So there are options, there are opportunities. We just don't have to sit and think and cry, because by crying, you don't help anyone. Look, open your eyes, look around, you will find options and solutions. Network, network, network. I mean, Wenzel is a master in networking, but I don't know anyone who can get a job without having a network, because I might not know a job, but Avil might not know, but Renira might know. But to reach Renira, I might need to go through Avil. So if you do not know people at the right places, you're not going to reach out. So it's fine if someone doesn't answer to your emails. If you have reached out, because I make it a point to answer to as many people on LinkedIn as I can, because I have gone through it and I understand. But yes, there could be someone who's not as resin to that they can be in the same situation, and they might not, but it's fine. It's their call. Your call is reaching out. Reach out to every person you know in your network. Somebody would be able to help you. You do not know who it is. I remember my husband talking about bombing when you do in sales. You go to every door. You don't leave a single person or single office, because to get that one sale, you might need to do 10 doors knocking before you get that one sale. And that's resilience, listening. And I was not ready for no before. But today, being in sales, Anyone can tell me no, and I know it's not me who they're telling no. They just don't want a product. I'm fine. My ego is not at all affected anymore. So this is where you learn. So network, LinkedIn, Dubai Job Hunt, you come to these sessions, you will know people, reach out to people. Like I know of my friends who would say, Anita, I'm applying jobs every day. I say, what are you doing? They say, I'm applying for jobs. I said, did you reach out to the recruiter? Did you reach out to people within that person, HR people in that particular company? Did you reach out to people in the line manager in that company? Doesn't matter if they don't respond, but reach out. Start commenting on people, go to their websites, find out what they are doing, go to their LinkedIn page, comment. They will see you. They will see you, you'll get visibility. And then when you send your profile, they know who this person is. That's how you will get your next job. It will not be by just applying, because just applying, you're doing what other 100 people are doing. You have to stand out to be seen. Then how can you help? I mean, why should always I look at who can help me? What can I do for someone else? Be a giver, because that is the best quality. If you give, support a community, someone will see that. Someone will see, because those are very important skills. Today, companies are not so myopic in saying that, oh, I just want this person to be doing this particular job. No, they will also see what else can you do. Because if they have one position, but they cannot hire two people for it, they will want someone who has multi skills, and they will appoint you because you have this experience as well as this. So try and make a very holistic career for yourself. Have mentors, have guides. If you can afford one, have a coach. I could not afford a coach, I'll be very honest, but I was very lucky to win with Coach Cheryl a prize, and I'm going to be coached by her. But yes, I can still reach out to any of the coach, because I decided to be a volunteer at Brainciti, and I could access so many coaches because of that. And it was open to everyone. I agreed and I volunteered. I put myself out there, and that's how Faisal and Yash and everyone know that, okay, Anita can help in this, or Anita can. So you have to get people to see you. For that, you have to be able to approach people. So you need guidance. I might not be good at something. I'll need someone to help me with it. And someone who's an expert, go to that person in that industry. Financially, I'm very poor. I don't understand. I'll go to someone who knows it. They will help me make a will, make a whatever plans I want. Someone will guide me. I just need to know it's possible. I just need to reach out. So remind yourself this. This is what I reminded myself. You are not redundant. Role has been made redundant. It's very important, friends. You are taking your skills and going from that job. They're going to replace the position or whatever. You are taking your skills and going out of the job. You are not redundant. Jobs and businesses are illusions. Nothing is permanent in life. So the days when our parents work for whole their life and then they retired, no, that's not going to be possible for all of us. We're not going to be always blessed like that. So let's not have this mentality. When I go for my interview, I look at my job as a consultant. I'm going with this particular skills, guys. And I don't look at it as an interview. I look at it as a meeting. This is my skills. I can do this. Do you want the skills? If you want, this is my salary expectation. Meet it halfway or whatever, get the job. That's what you go with. You don't go there begging for a job. You don't have to beg, because you have the skills. You are what you build yourself to be, and you showcase that. Believe in yourself. If you are lacking in anything, upskill in those areas and go with a vigor back into the job market, or wherever you're starting your business or whatever. Go with that vigor, and there's nothing that is impossible for anyone. Be it COVID, be it anything. During COVID, people are getting jobs, right? People are now, market is opening, people are getting jobs, because people are going to rehire. Once the market picks up, all the people who were asked to leave, they have to replace it, because how will business run without people? So you have to make yourself ready that when they open up, you are the first person to say, hey, I'm available. Take me, I'm available, I can do it. So aim to have some of these high income generating skills, transferable skills. Okay, don't look at jobs, don't look at business, look at skills, because that's what people pay for. Companies are looking for what you bring to the table. Aim to have a recession proof career. Doesn't matter whatever the market is, you will always be able to fend yourself. I know people who are without education, have been able to reach. You don't need to be an MBA or this. You can, if you have belief in yourself and that ability to work hard, that is very important. You have to work hard. You cannot go to an interview and say, oh, I didn't think they will ask that question. No, I have to preempt all the questions that they will ask, because this is why I'm there. To get an interview, I had to work for my CV. So when I go there unprepared, I'm being disrespectful to myself and to the person who's interviewing me. So be responsible for yourself. Be able to speak up, answer, and if you don't know, talk to people who have gone for interviews. Ask them what is the experience, what is the latest question that people are asking. You know that there's going to be a question on why were you without a job for the last year. Build it up with what you did. Maybe you helped some colleague. Maybe you did some training. Maybe you upskilled and did all the training skills on LinkedIn. Put it on your CV. Market yourself and get your finances in order. Again, I repeat, financial planning, because end of the day, you do need money to survive, and that's understood, and it's definitely needed. So yes, make sure you cut down, downsize if required, take some hard steps at that point till you get back, and then you can always move up. It's always easy to move up, right? Sometimes it's difficult for us to go one step. So sometimes you have to take two steps back to go one step forward. And that's what I would like to say from my experience. You can do it. You have to just go back, learn it, go back again, because you, till you wake up in the morning and you hear your heartbeat, you can do anything, because God is giving you another day, another blessing. You have a reason to be there. If someone else has not woken up and you have a purpose in life, and that purpose is what should make you drive yourself every morning. Wake up in the morning, thank God for giving you another day, and get on working on yourself. You shouldn't be the same person you were yesterday. If you are, you're stagnating. You can't be doing the same job for 10 years. If you're doing that, do something on the side, something to help the community, because maybe we might not always get our dream job, but we can always fulfill our wishes side by side. I could be wanting to be into music. I can maybe do a karaoke session, or I can upload a music video. My mother-in-law at 69 years old started her own YouTube channel and is presenting cakes and whatever dishes she's cooking. I mean, what are we talking about age? We're not talking about age. People can get their dreams. She is a very good cook, but she never thought of it. But during the COVID, she decided to upload videos. She self-recorded her videos. So everyone can do it. We can get inspiration from people around us. So I don't see there's any excuses. And if those people who say that I'm not getting a job, this quote is for you. Let this sink in. You are the ocean. And if they're not selecting you, that's because they prefer puddles. Don't take it personally. That does not devalue you. You have miles to go. You have lots to do. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. And as it's very famously said, every setback is a step up to come back. You will be able to come back, but that belief nobody can give you. I can tell you from experience. I had my husband, my family, everyone telling me that you can do it, you can do it. Till I was ready to believe in myself, nobody can tell me that. And today I know I can do anything if I want, any job I can do, because I can learn it. Because I have the ability to learn. YouTube has so many free classes. People are ready to teach me because I'm willing to listen, I'm willing to learn. And today, if I am going to say, if I don't know, I will ask and I will do it. I will find out a way. Resourcefulness is one of the most important skill. And that's what you can, because today we are so blessed, we have internet. We can come back. We can do a comeback. That's all I would like to say. And yes, I want to talk about my personal journey. So during my depression, or whatever you call it, my low days, one of the good part which I discovered about myself is my ability to want to express myself in writing. And I had this dream, which thankfully to Dubai Job Hunt and Avil, when we were discussing, it just was one of the videos where I said, I want to start my own blog. I was very shy to express myself, like what will people say? But then I started, it's a small thing I've started expressing in terms of writing small stories, whatever my experience is. If I come across something, I will just write it. I'm not doing it so as regularly as I want to, but I also know that this is something, it's been me. I can always do it. But this is what I want to tell you. There are very much ways of expressing yourself. Find what suits you, what gives you that willpower to go ahead, face the challenges in life. And that's it from me for now. So I hope I didn't take a lot of time, Renira. I mean, good time. Oops, it's already 8 o'clock. I'm so sorry. I took a little extra time. So sorry.
I don't
I went in the
think you would be. I don't think you would be apologizing if you would take a look at the chats. And I know you were sharing the screen, but you have so much of love, so much of gratitude, so much of positivity from everyone on the chats. I would request one of the volunteers to please save the chats for her so she can go back and see what a wonderful speaker she is. Thank you so much for this, Anita. Anita. I'll never forget that. That's how you actually pronounce and say your name. It's Anita. Um, this has been by far, there are people who've been saying this, and I do agree, and I've always thought that you're one of the best speakers, and everyone's saying that in the chat. They've got a lot of value. I had a few questions, but you actually did address most of it. But I would still ask a few questions again so you can, shed some light on it when it comes to job seekers who are new, someone who has come to the country for the first time. So, like people who are applying jobs, this is something with relation to what you've gone through as well. So I knew that you'll be able to answer this. Um, there are a lot of people who are working and who've had a big, huge gap in their career and now want to get back to the market or get back to working. How do you overcome this, or what do you do to make sure that, because I know for sure the gap is going to be a question that the interviewer will ask you. So how do you either answer that, or what do you do?
So first of all, Renira, this is a very good question because it's very relevant. I myself had to explain that when I was talking. So one thing is how do you show it on your CV? Because many a times recruiters have few seconds, all they would see is your gap. So are you highlighting your gap in the top of your CV? Okay, because the gap is just for that period. You do have a lot of experience, but everything gets not noticed by people. So what we do is, if you're an experienced person, I'm not talking about a fresher at this point, I'll talk about an experienced person for now. You start putting in your key skills. The first thing that a recruiter should see is, what is this person bringing on the table? Okay, put in your key skills. Okay, and then look, if you have done something, I'm sure when there's a gap, like I have myself done a lot of hustles, a lot of small things. So what I did is I put in those roles. Okay, and I put in what I learned out of it also. And when I got the opportunity to express in the interview, I spoke about not stressing on what I did, but what I learned out of that experience. So what are the skills I developed? So I used that gaps for my advantage, which is a fact. It's not a lie. Okay, so you have to be able to believe it also. So when you go for an interview, if you don't believe it, you can't always fake it to make it. You have to also believe it to a certain extent. But yes, this is how I worked on it. So what is the gap for? Suppose if you had a maternity break for that matter. Now, being a mom, okay, is a most beautiful ever career or job a person can have. There's nothing wrong with it. But if I were to come back, okay, what are the skills a mother has? Okay, the patience, okay, the type of, they have to also be financially doing a lot of things, managing budgets and all that. So use that as skills. Why can't you put it as skills? You can very proudly say, I was a momopreneur or whatever I was doing, I was a housewife, but this is it. So, but of course, don't put it right on top of your CV, because that's what will not get you a call. Put it towards put the skills on top. The skills have to be right on top. Okay, what are you bringing to the table, and the relevant, put your CV into roles and what you have done, more than this job, this date, this job, this date. Change your format. And then, of course, another point is, you won't get it through the regular route. You won't be able to go to LinkedIn, easy apply and get it. No, that easy apply is just a database seeking sort of a thing. Okay, so if it's so easy, everyone would get a job, right? No, you go to the person who's advertised there, have a connection with the person and talk to the person. And while you're in the gap, if you have certain things that you would like to show, that I have maybe spoken in certain events, I have written these articles, I have done these blogs, put it on your LinkedIn, make it visible for recruiters, because that is your first CV, isn't it? Everyone will view you. The moment they get your CV, they'll go on your LinkedIn. What has this person done? What is the person doing? What is she busy doing? So make yourself visible. And that's how you would be. And for the gaps, yes, skills that you did during the gap. And if you have not, it's not still too late. You can still build those skills, you can still work on those.
Absolutely, I do agree with everything that you said. And it was so important for me to pick this point up because I do know now a lot of people will have a lot of gap. And, they do not know how to answer that question. And it may have helped so many people to at least put into perspective, even if they have not done anything, they can still do something right now to fill that gap. So thank you so much for answering that question. Now, I want to ask you something wherein, what about people who've not had a job for a really, really long time? They're really stuck and they are in the same situation like you. Of course, you've gone ahead and taken us through the entire slide of it all. But if you had to just give them one particular, aspect, element, or, something that they need to work on or look forward to when it comes to applying for a job.
So first of all, if you're not getting calls, okay, we have to first look at what are we, because people cannot see us, right? So we're not getting rejected because they see Anita. They're not rejecting me, they're rejecting my CV. So first thing I need to find out is what is my CV not talking about me? Okay, that is the first step. So when I'm not getting a job, I'm not getting an answer, fix my CV. Okay, once I fix that, okay, also look at the industries that people are, like suppose, okay, I'm in the travel industry right now, travel industry is not there. What are the complementing industries that I can work in? And connect with decision makers. It's very important, guys. It's decision makers. HR is not always a decision maker for all the roles. Okay, a lot of people think it is HR, but no, it's not. Look at the line manager. Look at the person who will be the one who will be hiring. Connect with those people. Look at what type of things he's doing. Look at his role profile. Go to his own, if he's filled up, look at his role profile, what is he doing? So you have to do a lot of research. It's not going to be it's very easy to say I'm not getting a job and time will just fly, right? Gaps will just increase. I cannot tell today that, oh, it was COVID. No, during COVID so many people have done so many things. I'm not saying it's necessary, but yes, you have to show what have I done during COVID. It cannot only be job searching. I have done networking. I have spoken to people. I have visited. I have attended seminars. Put that in your CV. In the gaps that you have, put it on your CV. People will value. Of course, people do discount COVID gaps right now, and which is good for everyone. But don't go with the mindset that, oh, because of COVID, I can get that leeway. No, build yourself up and go.
Thank you for answering that. Now, coming from, let's take into accountability that there are people who are still visiting and, are here to find a job. Now, for people who are come here for the first time, they do not really know the runabout of how things work. And I'm sure we all know that each country has a different process of hiring and interviewing. What are the top three tips you would give people who are here on visit, who are just here for 3 months, are here to just try out if they can get a job and want to do it as soon as possible? And if they're here, the first or three points you could give them to look out for or to work on.
So when I came to Dubai, I had faced this similar situation because though I had 15 years of experience, people told me that, oh, but you do not have UAE labor laws. You do not know the labor laws. So HR is like, HR, but you do not know relevance. What I did is I actually went on the website, understood the labor laws, downloaded the book. So you have to know what works in UAE, the selling, the style of selling, what works for people, what convinces people, what is it, how is the relationship built? So there are a lot of communities like meetups and all where you, as a visitor, you can go and meet up like-minded people. There are a lot of business sessions. So learning is, there are lots of options. Now even online, there are a lot of options. And free classes, free trainings, people are having a lot of information. You have to use your time, as even if you're on a visit, use your time, not just job searching, because you won't get it just sitting on the laptop. Keep that one morning time dedicated maybe, but during the day, do a lot of research, talk to people, attend seminars, get yourself abreasted so that when you get that interview call, you speak the language the recruiter wants to listen. He's listening to terms that, oh, I heard that this particular thing is like this in UAE, and this is how I have learned that this is how work is done. Talk to professionals who are in UAE in the same role and try meet them. If it's not possible for coffee right now, call them up or even chat with them. Find out who are the common connections. You will, if you start searching, you will find a way. And this is what I would like to tell people, that you will find a way. You have to put in efforts though. It won't come easily like that. You have to put in efforts here.
That's a very valid point, and I'm sure you've answered a few people's questions who've not yet asked. We don't have any questions, so I guess either you were very clear, which I think you were because everybody was responding to each and every slide that you have. Now, I do remember you pinpointing on this particular point where you said, keep applying for jobs, whether you are in one job or if you are not without. And you also said, make sure that you do it confidentially. So I want to ask you here, is it all right? I know the answer to this, but I'm asking you this in behalf of a lot of others who think that, once they've got a job that they think that is serving the purpose for, their current scenario and expenses, but actually have their heart somewhere else in another job, but are too afraid to apply for it because they're already working and they're scared that, okay, if any of those people working there would go ahead and see something like that. So what would your advice be?
See, what I say about looking out for a job, okay, if you're happy, okay, but that doesn't mean you don't know what's the market like, because jobs, as you know, it's ever changing. Okay, so if you don't skill yourself up, and if you're just going to be that I'm having a job, but market conditions change often. Okay, so that is the reason I was saying look out for a job. And you don't have, when I say look out, don't have to apply. You can look and connect with people in the industry and say, hey, I heard you all are hiring, what's happening, what is the position you're hiring. Have those discussions. It's not applying for a job, it's having relevant discussion with colleagues, with peers. Okay, I heard your company is hiring. It's not an insider information. You're just discussing to know what is the industry trends. Okay, so you also be able to maybe bring back some information and maybe upskill yourself, and then you'll do better in your existing job. They will never ask you to leave. They will, in fact, start giving counter offers. So you have to bring yourself to such a way that you, as I said earlier, you work as yourself as a consultant. How a consultant will do if he has his own business, right? He will keep talking to people. He might not even get business from that particular person, but he'll keep meeting different people because he needs to understand what is the needs of the industry. So he builds himself up, makes those offerings so that he's ready. Okay, it's COVID. Look at how businesses changed. People who are not doing online. Look at schools. Everyone is online. Did we even think our children can ever learn anything online? No. You have to be proactive. You have to be ready. So those who have failed or those who have not got are people who are not ready for these challenges. So I'm trying to tell myself, including myself, I'm telling others also, let's always be one step ahead. Find out how we can upskill ourselves. Let's not get complacent, and let's not miss the boat, is what I would say.
Well, I hope everyone here, we have 43 people still here, and I hope they don't miss the boat because you've shared so much of knowledge. Now, before I get into the formalities of ending the show, I would just like to know, how does it feel to share your story and, share this platform and share your knowledge with so many people?
For me, I believe in this. I believe in this platform because I have learned through it. So for me to come here today and share this, it took me time. I mean, Avil has always been telling me about it, but it took me time because, as I said, it takes time for you to have the courage to open up that you did make mistakes, you did fail. It takes some time, And when I realized that actually those were not failures, they were just stepping stones to reach somewhere. And when I realized it, it was, I realized I need to tell that to people. I need that message because someone has to give that message, because when we learn, someone taught us also, right? And someone was generous enough with their time for us. So if we can be generous with our time for someone else, why not? So this is the whole idea of coming here, and I'm so happy to be able to share. I hope I'm doing justice to whatever time people have given on this platform with me.
I'm sure you've done a lot of justice, and I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for doing this and helping us understand what it is to be in a situation. And I'm sure this is on behalf of everyone. I would just like to thank you for being here. I do not have any questions from the audience, so I'm not going to. There are no questions from them, but this is just like a virtual way of all of us at Dubai Jobs Hunt, saying thank you to you. We always believe that you had so much to share. And I'm so glad that you're back again in action. It's so good to see you do what you do so well. So thank you so much. This is just a virtual bouquet. Of
Thank
course,
you.
you're most welcome, Anita. And I think you need to do a lot of more sessions on topics like these, because it seems like everybody in the room today was able to resonate with what you had to share. So thank you so much for sharing everything with us.